Hey guys, Ashit here. Yeah, that's my name. Anyways, I'll be teaching you the fundamentals of movement. By that I mean movement that you can do without needing a specific character and/or weapon archetype. So that means, as a disclaimer, there will be no sliding, specialization, and piercing ascent in this video, since there's probably stuff for that already out there, and you should probably use that over this. But this is if you're really interested in learning in depth on how the base mechanics work for this movement and how you can improve your speed just without any sort of upgrade to your equipment aside from just your own ability. Alright, let's get started. Also, I'll probably be putting some sort of thing on the screen on what my inputs are just for you to follow, and also another section as to why I do this tech, probably somewhere at the bottom left or bottom right, I don't know. Just so if you're clicking in from a random part, you'll know what I'm talking about. Starting off, I'll just show I have nothing on any of my weapon and my character. Alright, first thing we need to learn is the slide M1. This movement. Or crouch M1, not really slide. You just need to crouch in M1. Alright. Next thing, and you were taught this in a tutorial, but we'll do this just for the sake of it, is a helix jump. That. Alright, now, those two are really easy. You probably, I don't think any of you are having difficulty doing that. Anyways, the next thing you need to learn about is that you can aim your helix jump. So if you look directly up, you also go directly up. A lot of people don't know this. You can aim these like that. See? So, what you can do is something like this. Right? Very simple. We're just adding one more input, and that's a left click after the helix jump, just to do a plunge. This is useful for if there is like a sort of what do you call it? Downwards area, because plunges are very fast. They are very fast, especially with Duet, but I won't cover that right now. Anyways, the next thing that you need to learn is this. It is a slide M1 into a dash, but ideally, you want to press the dash at the tail end. You'll see on your slide M1, you get pushed forward a little bit, right? And I want you to press dash at the very moment you stop propelling yourself forward. This will give you a really good fast horizontal movement. If you do it too early, what do you call it? It cancels and you kind of lose out on a bit of your forward momentum, but that's okay. Ideally, you want to dash just as soon as the effect or the color effect appears, like this. The effect that appears when you're sliding. You want to have that timing down in your muscle, or when you press the button. Alright, so now I've taught you some really easy fundamental techs. I've taught you this one. Oh, sorry. This one, and then this one. Now, imagine these two as your main building blocks. These two are Lego pieces that you will be putting onto each other again and again, right? So, if you combine those two that I told you, right, what you can do is something like this. Now, that might have confused some of you. That's okay. I'd be surprised if you understood all of that just by looking at it. I should have had the inputs shown on screen there, but I'll go over the thought process of it again. So, I mentioned earlier how treat the two movement text, the slide M1 and the dash, and the jump into a slam, as your Legos, as your building blocks. So, you'll notice that I usually do the slide more and do the plunge after I've done a couple of slides. That's mainly because if you do the slide again and again, by the third slide, you'll run out of your dash cooldown, right? You'll literally run out. You can't do it anymore, see? So, what I do for this is instead of doing more slashes, I just do this. to basically have a movement buffer while my next dash is in cooldown, right? And there's really no right way to do this. You really just kind of freestyle it depending on the environment, and because there's a lot of geometry in your way, and sometimes you need more verticality, sometimes you need to go horizontally fast. I'm just teaching you that to keep these in mind so you can choose which one is more appropriate in what situation, right? Since it's movement in this game is like a puzzle. Well, at least that's how I do it. I wouldn't really call it a puzzle. Most people just run piercing cassette. Anyways, it's not even that bad. Okay, I digress. Now, some of you might have noticed, like, damn, this is low-key kind of slower than I expected it to be. That's correct, because I'm not using any wedges. Alright, so now, the next part is what wedges you can put on, what key wedges you can put on. And it's all on weapon, by the way. It's all just it's pretty sure it's almost all in your melee weapon. The first thing you're gonna want, it's either gonna be Flash Strike, if you prefer sliding more, and or Swift Drop Shot, which is what I prefer, and it's what I'll be using in this showcase. And you also need celerity, because movement speed also, or no, not movement speed, attack speed also boosts your slashing speed, or your slashing speed. You'll notice after I put these two on, my slashes are way faster, right? You'll notice that my slashes are way faster, so it's way more efficient, and I can do it way more faster when I do these techs, right? So having both of those wedges combined, you can go very, very fast, very, very quickly. Right? And that's without sacrificing the changing slot. I don't have piercing ascent because I never really needed it, but this is just ideas I throw out just for you guys that wanna run another weapon that isn't polearm, and if you don't want to necessarily use the sliding with the daggers, those two are really the best right now. Polearm with piercing ascent, and the daggers for the sliding spam. If your name's not Rhythm, you don't really have much options. I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. You kind of probably slow as shit. So this is for you. I feel they really need to. Whatever. I was about to go on a tangent. I'll stop myself. Okay, so you've reached the end of the video. My first question to you is, why the hell are you here? Why did you bother learning this? Like, just use PA or the sliding tech. I'm gonna be completely honest with you. The only people that actually care about the fundamentals of movement is probably rhythm players, where we can choose not to use either the sliding or piercing ascent. So learning fundamentals is actually important for other rhythm players. But for everyone else, you shouldn't be giving a fuck about this. Or, you shouldn't be watching a 9-minute long video about it. Alright, I'm joking. Anyways, if you want to learn more, come back. I'll probably post something once a week if I feel like it. Maybe more. I'm lazy as shit. I can't lie to you, bro. Anyways, big thanks to my channel members. I'll put them up on screen, and my Patreon supporters. I'll put you guys up on screen. Let's give them a round of applause. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Alright, I'll see you in my next upload.